while we counted out loud still. So everything has been clean with both hands. Now we're going to put them together. And the way that we're going to do this is that we're going to go slow enough so that we can keep the fingers that we want to play and keep the rhythm that we want to play. But we can also take corrective pauses, which means that we don't have to keep going and scramble to get to a note. We can stop at any given point, but we are going to count. So before doing this step, it's really helpful to do the right hand by itself one more time, because since we did the right hand first and then the left hand, it's nice to go back now, review the right hand. So that was A, M, I, M, I, M, I, A. And we would actually be counting aloud when we did that 3M1. So now that we're going to do that together, then we can start doing it and take corrective pauses, and I'll demonstrate that here. 3 and 1 and 2. Okay, time out. I finger on the second, fourth finger down here. That's a corrective pause. Now I'm going to go forward. And 3 and here I got the thumb again. I'm pausing, and now I'm starting back up. 1 and 2. Pause. M finger on the second, and second finger on the A with the I finger. And then here I've got a change in the bass note. So if you'll notice, every single note was correct. There were corrective pauses in different places, but there were no mistakes. There were no mistakes, there were no shuffles around, no tripping over my dress. It was absolutely clean. It's just that it was taken out of time, right? So that's the idea, is that we make 0 mistakes at this stage, putting the hands together. And we do that by stopping whenever there's any shred of confusion of not knowing the next note or having to wonder. And if it takes a million years, then that's perfectly fine, because we learn really fast this way. So it feels like it takes fast at the beginning, but actually the overall trajectory of learning the piece is way faster this way. So then as we start, once we do this a couple of times, then we can start to reduce the corrective pauses and really keep an eye out for anything that's any sort of confusion. But then going forward, 3 and 1. Both hands. 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Great. So now we have that. You know, something else that we can do. And this is just a fun thing, and you could throw it in during the clapping phase. You could throw it in during the right hand by itself phase. At any point, when musical lines, which is this melody line on the top, when a musical line goes down, so this one is going down in pitch, this stays the same. Let's get some color here. It stays the same, and then it goes down, then it stays the same, then it goes down, then it goes up, right? That's what the pitches are doing in space. Well, when it goes down, like here, we can get louder. And when it goes up, like here, we can get quieter. When it's the same, then we typically get louder. So the way that we could do this we could start to do this, just the right hand by itself. First, 3 and 1, and now louder. And 3, 1, and loudest. And 3, now back off. So we can start swelling these, make the swells down and the fades going up, and we can add that in. So that way, whenever we go to play it, 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 2 and then we just press down and then lighten as we go up. And then we can do that throughout the entire piece, and it just makes it more beautiful. It's more phrasing. What that also does is puts a lot more challenge into everything else, right? It just adds complexity to say now it's not only that I'm playing the right hand with this finger and the left hand with this finger, and I'm counting out loud and playing everything in time, but now I'm also plotting, now this note has to be slightly louder than that note, but not too loud, because I need to get louder for another 3 notes. So it just adds another layer of complexity, but that is just the gold. That is it's so satisfying to practice swells and fades and accents and the musicality of it, and that also builds our abilities in our hands. So then this entire section, then we can play, and we can, once we get it to where we don't need any more corrective pauses, and we can just play it 1 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 1, and everything is clear and crisp and right on time, then we can start to speed that section up. Now, as this goes forward, you could be doing other things in other sections. So even before you completely finish this first section, you could go on to a different section anywhere in the piece and start working on just the right hand by itself, or just the left hand by itself, and doing these other stages as they go along. So you don't have to finish one thing before you go to the next, and you don't have to go in order from the beginning of the piece to the end of the piece. It's oftentimes really great to go from the very end of the piece, work the very last section, and then back up, and that way you're always getting more comfortable as you go into the piece instead of getting less and less comfortable. So that's another way to practice as well. In the next video, video number 5, then we will look at the other sections. See you there.